waking up early on a Sunday morning and in the car. It's a little weird. Getting gas, filling up my car, not completely unheard of, but still a little weird for a Sunday morning. Stopping at Steven's house to pick up the car hauler trailer. This is escalating. Figured out what I'm purchasing yet?
You won't tell me what it is.
Okay, not purchasing yet, because we need to see like if it's rusted out. I will say this, you have a 50s car.
Yep.
And you have an 80s car.
Yep.
I have a 70s car.
Yep.
So there is something missing in that lineup.
60s or 90s?
60s.
Okay. Now we were looking at old like Triumphs and stuff before MGs.
Yeah, very similar. I honestly didn't even consider or know this existed until I found it on Facebook Marketplace at 1 a.m. last night.
It's amphibious vehicle.
Could be it. I'll show him the pictures, and you don't get to see it till later, but...
Oh, it's kind of similar.
Do you know what that is?
Oh, is it the thing from the Home Improvement show?
No.
No?
Well, actually, maybe. They might have had one.
Austin Healey?
That's it?
Yeah, that's what he had. Yeah.
Behind this door sits the consequences of my actions. Behind this door is impending financial ruin. Behind this door is a future unfinished project of mine. Behind this door is my new 1963 Austin Healey Sprite. And I use the number 1963 lightly because the more I learn about Austin Healey's, I don't think it's actually a 1963, but more about that in a second. Let's take a look at my new car. That's a pretty cool looking car, huh? 1963, maybe, Austin Healey Sprite. And to understand why I bought this car, I have to tell you about another project. So Steven has a 1987 RX-7 and a big Chevy Corvette motor that he's gonna drop into it, which means this YouTube channel has a problem. There's going to be an extra Mazda rotary engine lying around. And so I was thinking like, what would be cool to put that in? And I started shopping for either first gen Miatas or something from the late 60s, early 70s British sports car, like an MG or a Triumph, something that'd be really cool to put a rotary in. And then I accidentally found this, an Austin Healey, which I kind of forgot Austin Healey existed. I never really paid attention to them until I saw this pop up on Facebook Marketplace. Let's just look at this gorgeous car. It's got these cool little mirrors on the fender, this way oversized radio antenna. The interior, I doubt these seat covers are original, but the dash does not have cracks. Cool little toggle switches all over the place. Of course, it's a manual, 4-speed. Look at these door locks and these levers and these little handles and this little tear in the vinyl. It's pretty cool. There's this little trunk with this little lever, and there's a spare tire and a sock. The trunk even has this adorable little kickstand to keep the trunk lid up in the air. How cool is that? We've got metal bumpers, tiny little exhaust tip, super cool hubcaps that almost have my initials in them. It's close. Adorable little windshield wipers, and of course, a convertible top. And I think once this thing is done, the convertible top is coming off and probably never going back on. This is going to be a nice, fun, springtime, fall time, cruise around at a slow speed when it's working, only when it's working, because if I keep the original engine and British electrical system, it probably won't be working much. I've heard these things, they don't run great. Before I bought my air-cooled Volkswagen, I did a lot of research on Volkswagen bugs, and I knew all the differences of all the different years, about the different engines, the different powertrains, when they went from flat glass to curved glass, and metal dashes to padded dashes. I knew parts were available. I knew I specifically wanted a 1971 Super Beetle because of all of my research. That is not what happened with this. I knew nothing about Austin Healey's. I didn't even know if I could get parts for it, and it's going to need some parts because it's not running and driving. So yeah, it's not running and driving. Let's take a look at what's wrong with it. This car, from what I was told by the previous owners, was parked in a garage for about 8 years, and parking a car and not driving it isn't that great. The fuel tank probably had some fuel in it, probably got some condensation, and well, it rusted a hole in itself. So the fuel system is probably trashed. New fuel tank, maybe new fuel lines, definitely new fuel filter, maybe new fuel pump. Fuel system is going to have to be worked on. Also, if I can squeeze in here, which is not super easy to do, I can make my feet do this and tell you that both the clutch and the brake go straight to the floor. When we pop the hood, and the hood release is broken, so it'll take us a second to pop the hood, we can see that the master cylinder up there that controls both the clutch and the brake, well, all of the fluid has leaked out. So probably a seal went bad in there. Hopefully that's as easy as replacing the seal and just bleeding the brakes and the clutch. Did I mention that the hood release is broken? The guy I bought it from showed me how to release the hood release with a screwdriver. So I'm gonna do that. We can look at what's under the hood because it's actually really nice under there. All right, we have had some success opening the hood, I think. Yes, we have. Not too bad for a 60-something-year-old car. And this, numbers matching, I don't know, but is an original Austin Healey 4-cylinder engine. And unfortunately, we can see over here that all of the brake fluid has come out of the master cylinder and clutch master cylinder and just, well, it's eroded. It's eaten up a lot of the paint, and that's kind of sad. But hopefully that's just a seal bleeding the system. If not, I can actually get a new master cylinder. It's not too pricey online. This thing is interesting. Double carb, inline 4, tiny little fan. This looks like a heater blower, ignition coil. These spark plug wires are even numbered. And one of the really cool things is the family that sold me this car had a binder for it because this car was actually restored in 2012. And in that binder were all the details about the car. There's really cool notes about how to start it on a cold day because you got to do something special with the choke. And in this binder was the name of the man who restored the car. And I found his phone number and I called him and I talked to him and he told me all about when he restored the car. He even told me he has a box of parts and service manuals for this car, which the next time I'm driving through Oklahoma City, I need to pick up. So I'll see you soon and pick up that box. Besides the fact that it doesn't start, one of the last things that concerns me is it's been repainted. The paint looks great, but at one point there has been some rust. We got some little bubbles where rust was either painted over or rust wasn't quite repaired all the way and the repair has failed. And if the car wasn't painted, I wouldn't be as concerned. Since it has been repainted, I just don't know how bad it is underneath there. So hopefully, it's just like not rotting into the ground. And now about that whole 1963 thing. I've been doing research on these things since I bought it, not before. And I found out that in 1963, the Austin Healey, that's what this is. The Austin Healey Sprite did not have door handles and did not have a quarter window. What are the plans for this? Well, right now, nothing. That's why it's in a storage unit. I have some other unfinished projects to finish up first. And like I said, originally I was looking for something to put a rotary in, but this is too nice. Maybe if it sat too long and maybe if the motor's shot, it'll come out and the rotary will go in. I also thought maybe an EV conversion if I can't get this motor running, but it's so clean. I've got all the records from when it was restored. I've got the phone number for the guy who restored it and it has all sorts of good tips about what I need to do before I try and start it. So I'm pretty confident we can get it started. That will come in the future. That is actually it for now. I know this is a short video. I'm just gonna pump the gas out, take the battery out, cover it up in plastic, just get it ready to store for a while until I'm ready to work on it. But we do have lots of awesome projects coming up. Steven has his new garage being built. At some point, the Corvette engine is going to go in the RX-7. I might actually finish a project. You never know how that's gonna turn out. So if you know anything about Austin Healey's and you have any idea what I just got myself into, please let me know below. Usually you leave angry comments, but this car is so beautiful. You can't be angry with a car that is this gorgeous. That is it for now. So until next time, do yourself a favor and just go buy something on Facebook Marketplace without doing any homework whatsoever. Just do it. Behind this door is what happens when you take too many Tylenol PM and then get on Facebook Marketplace.